Maraming salamat ulit, Mayor Cora. I was talking to Mayor Cora earlier and I asked him kung kailan ginawa yung video. He said last month. He's talking to someone. Last month pa. So I was telling him also na napaka-relax, napaka-steady ng Siargao. And it's very reflective of the video na ipinakita sa atin ni Mayor. Maraming salamat ulit, Mayor. Is everyone okay? Good afternoon ulit sa inyong lahat. Are you hyped for us to continue our forum for today, for this afternoon? Yes. Tatlo. Yes? All right, with that resounding yes, to share with us the initiatives of the agriculture sector using the risk transfer mechanism, I'd like to call on Mr. Norman Kahukom, the Acting Vice President of the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation.
Change starts with me. I wanna be what
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Nais ko pong pasalamatan ang Climate Change Commission, si Secretary Siri at si Director Goco at ang lahat ng kanyang mga kasamahan. At sa inyo pong lahat, pag-imbita sa PCIC para makapagpaliwanag po ng risk transfer mechanism. Marami pong salamat at good afternoon. Binigyan po ako ng 15 minutes para mag-explain po, mag-update sa crop insurance. Then after that, pwede po kayong magtanong. No? Pero bago ang lahat, kayo po muna ang tatanungin ko. Ano po? Ano ba? Ayan. So, ang PCIC po, this was established in 1981. Ano? So, 32 years na po kami. And we have 13 regional offices nationwide. And our regional managers are closely coordinating with the local government units. Ano? So, dito po sa ating mga delegates dito, representatives, sino na po ang mga nakakaalam tungkol sa PCIC, may experience na po sa PCIC, o nakapakinig tungkol po sa PCIC, pakitaas lang po ang kamay. So parang kakaunti po yata, ano? Parang less than mga 10% lang po. Dito po sa banda rito, wala po bang nakaalam dyan? So mukhang kulang yung 15 minutes pag gano'n, ano po? So, the PCIC is an agricultural insurer. This is a government-owned control corporation committed to help stabilize the income of agricultural producers and promote the flow of credit in the countryside. Pero ang preference po natin dito, yung mga smallholders, ano? Mga marginalized farmers and fisher folks. Right now, we have 7 insurance products. Rice crop, corn crop, high-value commercial crop, non-crop agricultural asset, livestock, including life insurance and fisheries insurance. These are the perils that we are protecting the farm investment. Natural calamities, which includes typhoon, flood, storm surge, flood, volcanic eruption, and pests and diseases. For high-value commercial crop insurance, we have already developed around 49 insurance packages. Ano? This includes from abaka to potato. Kasama rin po dito yung mga sa coconut. Kaya yung mga nasa Leyte, sa Tacloban, yung mga nandun po, kung yan naka-insure sa PCIC, kasama po yan sa babayaran. Sa livestock, kasama po dito ang carabao, mga horse, swine, goat, Saka kasama rin po yung mga any animals na may investment po yung ating mga magsasaka. Then for non-crop agricultural asset, makikita po natin kasama rin po rito yung mga fishing boats. Marami kaming na-insure sa bandang Visayas, lalo na sa Cebu, yung mga fishing boats sila kasama. Yung non-motorized saka motorized, kasama po yun. No? Pati yung kanilang lahat ng mga facilities sa fisheries, kasama po yun. For fisheries insurance, in addition dun sa mga kagamitan po nila, no, yung mga facilities, yung unharvested stocks and crops, pati seaweeds, kasama po rito. Then, ang amount of cover po, kasama dito yung cost of production inputs, kasama din yung kanilang labor. And risk covered, yan, yung natural calamities, yung storm surge, kasama yan. Then, meron din kaming term insurance, life insurance for the farmers. Yung sa Agricultural Producer Protection Plan, up to 100,000 pesos, nag-i-insure kami sa mga magsasaka. Loan Repayment Protection Plan, kung magkano yung utang niya, kasama po sa insurance yun. And Accident and Dismemberment Security Scheme. Ito po yung personal accident. So, just to inform you dun sa aming performance for 2012, papalaki po ang aming enrollment. 25% more farmers for rice, 62% more for corn, and 73% for livestock. For 2013, this is our target. And kwan po ito, no? Realistic target, 23 billion pesos worth of insurance coverage, 650,000 hectares of farmland, and 610,000 farmers. So ito po ang aming mga insurance partners right now. Land Bank, most of our clients are borrowers of land bank and rural banks. Microfinance institutions, farmers cooperatives, irrigators association, agrarian reform beneficiaries, and local government units. So ito po yung mga example ng aming mga partners, yung Negros Occidental, sa Samar, Aklan, Isabela, Capiz, and Davao del Norte. Ito po yung mga provincial governments. Marami rin pong mga municipal and city governments. So, ito po yung mga pictures namin, ano, yung mass enrollment. Ito pa, another pictures, yung sa mga Rural Bankers Association, kasama po yan. Dito po, yung sa Department of Agrarian Reform, starting this year, they give us 1 billion for this year po. 1 billion additional premium subsidy for agrarian reform beneficiaries. Kasama dito sa mga 100% premium subsidy, yung mga agrarian reform beneficiaries for yung pong nagtatanim ng palay, mais, high value crops, at saka livestock. So, mas marami pong nangangailangan ngayon ng protection natin sa natural perils. Ano? So, ito po yung ating ito po yung ating ngayon, ano? Yung ating team, yung climate change. So, for the past 4 years po, talagang matindi ang tama sa atin ng climate change. So, na-explain kanina ni Governor Salceda at saka yung mga past speakers natin, yung effects ng mga Typhoon Sondoy, Pepeng. So makita po natin na noong 2011, sa report naman po itong World Risk Index in 2011, number 3 po tayo sa World Risk Index. Dahil dito tumatama sa atin yung mga bagyo. Ano? At saka we are located in the ring of fire. This year, ito po yung mga major calamities na tumama sa atin. Typhoon Labuyo, Typhoon Maring and Habagat, Typhoon Santi, tapos may earthquake pa tayo sa Bohol. And recently, yung Typhoon Yolanda. Ito po yung mga major na calamities. Kaya ang PCIC po ay marami kaming binayaran tayong mga magsasaka. Kaya makikita po natin na napakahalaga po nito. At kaya itong ating mga local government units dito, yung hindi pa po nakakaroon ng partnership sa PCIC, kayo po ay iniimbita namin na makipag-tie up po sa amin para maproteksyonan po natin ang ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. So ito pong aming programa, ito po ay suportado ng Department of Agriculture. Sila po ang aming mother unit. Kasama dito yung crop insurance program for weather index base. Right now, meron po kaming ginagawa. We are now developing innovative insurance products which includes the index-based crop insurance. This is in coordination po with ILO. Meron po kaming pilot site diyan sa Butuan. And sa World Bank naman, meron po kaming pilot site ngayon sa Cagayan at saka sa Iloilo. Kasama rin dito yung Area Yield Index Insurance. This is in collaboration with the GIC. Our pilot site is located in Leyte. So yun lang po. Kami po ay handang mag-entertain po ng mga questions ninyo. Thank you.
Marami pong salamat, Mr. Kongkong.
I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I haven't been aware of what's going on
For too long.
Marami pong salamat ulit, Mr. Kongkong.
It's time to right or wrong.
Kung iisipin natin, other than availability of resources, networking, and risk transfer mechanism, we ask at this juncture, sa puntong to, meron tayong isang katanungan. What else should the LGUs and communities be equipped with? At para marinig natin ang boses o ang sagot sa tanong na ito, we'd like to call on stage Mr. Vince Rapisura of the Social Enterprise Development Partnership Incorporated.
starts with me. I wanna be whatever it takes to show that I care more than myself. I haven't been aware of what's going on.
For too long.
Okay. Naimbag na malim yung amin sa mga Ilocanos. Meron po bang mga Ilocano dito? Yay, ayan, mga kakosa ko yan. Ayun, ako po si Vince. Hindi po ako politiko. Ako po ay isang social entrepreneur. At meron po kaming mga projects on climate change adaptation sa Palawan at saka sa Siargao. Okay. So ang binigay sa akin na topic ay, so ano pa nga ba yung pwedeng gawin ng mga LGUs at ng mga communities on climate change adaptation? At ang tinitignan po natin parati ay saan ba makakakuha ng pondo para sa climate change adaptation. Pero bago po tayo mabigyan ng pondo for climate change adaptation, ang una po natin talagang kailangan tignan ay meron ba tayong capacity? So the first thing that we need to do is to build capacity first before accessing financing. No? Ano ba yung kaalaman natin tungkol sa climate change adaptation at paano natin yan ilalagay sa ating LGU plan? So i-discuss ko po sa inyo yung experience namin on the Eco-Town framework na ginagawa ng Climate Change Commission. So kung makikita nyo po from the natural resource assessment hanggang sa seventh step, which is the enhancement of local plans, pumapasok po kami sa fifth step, which is the climate adaptation support service, at saka dun sa pang-anim yung sa development ng financing scheme. So ano yung ginagawa namin sa climate adaptation support service, no? Yung isang dinesign namin na tinitest with the Climate Change Commission is a conditional cash transfer mechanism for livelihood para suportahan yung mga community members natin na mahihirap na ang kanilang negosyo ay sumisira sa environment. So for example, sa Siargao Island or sa Palawan, ito yung mga nagda-dynamite fishing, sumisira ng mangroves, di ba? So ang sabi nga yung sa Yolanda, kung may mga mangroves daw along Tacloban, mas naiwasan sana yung storm surge. So ito yung isa sa tinitignan namin. So bibigyan sila ng cash so that they start a livelihood that no longer involves the cutting of mangrove trees or denuding the environment, no? Tapos, nagbibigay din kami ng financial literacy sa community. I think this is the most basic way of climate adaptation. No? Pag titignan natin, ano ba yung kinalaman ng financial education sa climate adaptation? Nakita namin sa kulturang Pilipino na kapag in terms of emergencies, ang mga mahihirap may 4 na mechanisms. No? Meron silang 4 coping strategies that actually make them poorer in times of emergencies. So, tingnan nyo rin ito, kung ginagawa nyo siya, kapag may emergency, sign po ito na kayo ay mahirap. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Kapag may emergency, sino sa inyo ang nangungutang? Pataas ang kamay. Ayaw umamin. Okay, sige. Ayan. So, number 1 na coping mechanism yan ng mga mahihirap. No? Kapag may emergency, mangungutang. Ang pangalawang coping mechanism naman nila ay magbenta ng ari-arian. Okay? Ang pangatlo ay maghihigpit ng sinturon. Huwag nang mag-aral ang mga anak, isang beses na lang kumain, kasi nga kailangan pondohan ng emergency. At pang-apat na coping mechanism nila ay yung pag-solicit sa gobyerno at pagkuha ng welfare sa gobyerno, no? Pero ito ba dapat yung 4 na coping mechanisms that are appropriate for in times of emergencies, no? So, itong 4 na to ay sa pag-aaral nga namin, make the poor poorer. So, ano yung dapat? Kaya tinuturuan namin sila ng financial literacy or financial education. So, we teach them the value of savings and we push them or encourage them to buy insurance. Kasi yan yung nagbibigay ng protection sa atin. Ang lagi kong kinikwento, kapag ang mga mahihirap namatayan, di ba grabing makaiyak yan eh. My Facebook friends who are poor would post bank accounts asking for donations kapag may namatayan. Pero yung mga Facebook friends ko na mayayaman, hindi ko to friends ha, Facebook friends lang po. Kapag may namatay sa kanila, ano yung nakikita kong Facebook status? No? Kunwari namatay yung tatay. No? Daddy, I know you are in a better place now. Please look down on us and pray for us also. Ganyan, no? Pero yung mga mahihirap, talagang nagdadalang hati kasi nakikita nila yung hirap ng buhay dahil hindi nga insured yung mahal sa buhay nila. And then we also teach them about the proper use of debt. So, ang ini-emphasize namin sa climate adaptation in terms of financial education is the discipline of savings and insurance. So, mag-insure against calamities, i-insure lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay vulnerable, Marami pong mga microfinance institutions that already have these financial products, no? With as little as 20 pesos per week, ang isang breadwinner ay mai-insure natin at kapag siya ay namatay, mayroong makakuhang around 100,000 pesos yung family, no? Enough for them to give a decent burial for the family member and enough for them to start a new livelihood. So what's the third component of our climate adaptation support service? It's capacity building, no? Ang ginagawa po namin dito, yung local government unit, tinitignan namin yung ano ba yung mga livelihood na po pwedeng maibigay sa mga vulnerable groups in the area. And then, ang kadalasang nakikita namin is in the area of agriculture because, well, the Philippines really is largely an agricultural economy. So, tinitignan namin sila, binibigyan namin sila ng assistance on how to, what vegetables or what crops to plant, ano yung proper management, and then providing technical assistance to the LGUs on how to design, organize, implement, and monitor these plans. So ano yung nakita namin on the ground when we did the climate adaptation support service, no? Especially in Siargao and in San Vicente, Palawan, what we found out is that there is a huge mismatch or gap between supply and demand. So these are island economies. Pero pag tatanungin mo, pumunta ka sa merkado nila, saan galing ang talong, saan galing ang okra, saan galing ang vegetables nila. Normally imported yan from outside. Pero pag makikita mo sa community, when we did the natural resource assessment and the environmental accounting, no, marami namang pwedeng resources na pwedeng mag-produce, locally produce ng mga produkto para maging self-sustaining, magkaroon ng food security in the area. So we did a value chain analysis of this supply and demand gap, and then we identified ano yung pinaka-realistic na pwedeng gawin ng local government units to spur the local economy. Ang isa rin naming nakita is that ang kahirapan ang nangungunang dahilan kung bakit vulnerable ang mga tao sa climate change adaptation, no? Dahil mahirap sila, wala silang kakayahang bumili ng maayos na lupa such that they're not exposed to hazards. Kaya sa mga programa natin on poverty eradication, napaka-relevant ng climate change adaptation. You can actually solve climate adaptation or you can contribute to climate adaptation by also addressing the problem of poverty. And what we also saw is that we need to strengthen the LGU's capacity in designing and implementing climate adaptation measures. And I think ito yung medyo malaking challenge natin because not all local government units have the capacity to design appropriate interventions and implement these, no? And a lot of times, this really calls for a lot of investments, no? Kakailanganin ng technically equipped persons to really assist the local government units. So ano pa yung mga nakita naming challenges on the ground? Yung infrastructure ay isang napakalaking roadblock towards climate change adaptation. So for example, in San Vicente, Palawan, what we found out, yung San Vicente, I think, is only about 2 or 3 hours away from El Nido. Pero the cost of transporting a good from San Vicente, Palawan to El Nido, isang truck, would cost around 20,000 pesos. So, dun pa lang, talo na. Kasi sa trucking pa lang, talo na yung negosyante. Kaya yung mga resorts sa El Nido, they actually get their goods, they fly it in from Manila. At sabi ko, grabe to, talo na yung environment kasi may carbon footprint flying in the vegetables. Tapos talo pa yung community kasi sana locally produced yun, then it would have helped the local economy, no? So yun yung tinatry namin na i-address sana, no? Hindi namin kakayanin lahat. We need the local government unit and the national government to take a look at the infrastructure and improve it. And then there's also lack of capacity among LGUs, as I've mentioned a while ago, in designing climate change adaptation programs. At of course, yung parating natin nakikita, there's limited budget. But when you have limited budget, it doesn't mean that you can do it, no? kakayanin pa rin yan. We've seen a lot of those who've presented na sinasabi nila, I think si Mayor Cora was saying no, na 70,000 nga lang yung ginastos ko dito, pero I was able to mobilize around 3 million pesos to fund a project. And that is through networking and working through partnerships. So what are our recommendations? When designing climate adaptation services or programs, you have to involve the local partners in the market, no? In climate change adaptation. Ang kailangan nating tignan, yung mga local players, the distributors, the traders, yung mga businessmen no, in the community, we should be able to get their support because they are the ones who would make our local economy grow. So, sa Siargao, ang ginawa namin dyan, nakilala namin yung nag-aangkat ng vegetables from Butuan or from, I think it's from Cebu, no? But he is based in Siargao. And then we asked him whether he would be interested, instead of getting the vegetables from outside of Siargao, ay siya na lang yung kukuha doon sa mga 4 na munisipyong sinusuport namin sa and I think Del Carmen is one of these municipalities. Kung dati ang tingin natin sa mga local businessmen ay mga kapitalista na nang take advantage sa mga mahihirap, then we should be able to transform them into individuals who will practice good business ethics. So yan yung isang ginagawa namin. We also encourage the integration of climate change adaptation in the budget process. I think in the national government agencies, we already see this. But in the local level, the local government unit level, we would like to see more of this integration of the climate change adaptation in the budget process. Tapos, gaya ng sabi namin, infrastructure at capacity building para sa LGUs, and using participatory methods in planning and implementation. This means that when we craft programs, hindi dapat siya nanggagaling sa itaas, pababa. It should be, kakausapin natin yung mga tao sa ibaba. We really try to understand what their concerns are, ano yung mga kanilang problema, and then we create solutions for them. And then the last one is on the use of value chain analysis to come up with market-based solutions for climate adaptation. So, yon. Just to summarize what I've said, financing for adaptation is urgent. Kailangan talaga na mapondohan yung climate change adaptation. Pero, bago yun mangyari, kailangan i-equip muna natin yung sarili natin. Mahirap po kayong bigyan ng isang LGU ng malaking pondo kung hindi naman alam ng LGU gamitin yung pondong yon. Baka minsan makalusot kayo, pero the next time, people will see that you have not really utilized the funds well, hindi na kayo makakaulit. Climate change adaptation is also about reducing poverty and creating resilient communities. And the climate change adaptation and good local governance go hand in hand actually. Kasi at the end of it all, tayo naman yung tatamaan ng mga pagbabagong ito. But for me, instead of looking at the hazards, the key really is to take a look at this as opportunities to prepare and to be ready so that when it arrives, hindi tayo yung magbibilang na lang ng bangkay. No? But we will be a country that's resilient, and sana yung mga ganitong pangyayari ay really just becomes a thing of the past. So maraming salamat po sa pakikinig.
Maraming salamat din, Mr. Rapisura. So sa puntong ito, mga kaibigan, I'm sure you'd like to hear from our development partners about their experiences in collaborating with the LGU towards a climate-resistant development. So ready na ba kayo to hear from our development partners? Yes? Louder? Okay, thank you for the louder. Now we'd like to call on our development partners. First, we have Mr. Hendrik Meller of GIZ. Mr. Meller? Good afternoon. Also, we'd like to call on stage Mr. Hyo Yul Kim of the Global Green Growth Institute. And Mr. Toshihiro Tanaka, UNDP Country Director.
Better seen than just heard.
Carrying faith, hope, and love.
Search within your heart, oh yeah.
I will play my part.
Moving till we're there.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Okay, at this point it's like a Q&A about how the development partners are helping our LGUs, or what are the initiatives that have been done by you as developmental partners to our LGUs. So our first question is, what are your organization's current engagement or initiatives with the Philippines? Maybe we can start with Mr. Tanaka.
Yep. Thank you for inviting us here. I'm working for United Nations Development Program. We are working with the local government, also national government, on the disaster risk reductions and climate change adaptations, particularly through climate change commissions. At the same time, Office of Civil Defense, Department of Local Governments, and also with the particularly local government, which have been affected by a lot of natural disasters, including sometimes human-made disasters. We first of all worked with for example, Albay province. Joyce Saluteda-san was here in the morning, I understand. We had worked on the climate change adaptation strategy within Albay, and we have also helped develop climate change academy over there. And Albay is a good example of helping also other provinces. Wherever I go, Typhoon Pablo and also Typhoon Sendong, I think they are there. And helping other local government as well. So we have also a supported program, so-called Twin Phoenix, which is covering a province, city of Irigan, also Cagayan de Oro, which was affected by Typhoon Sendong. And then we have extended that support after Typhoon Pablo hit Davao Oriental, Compostela Valley. So we are working with two provinces, two cities, how they can re-enhance, building back with more resilience and also with more sustainability. I can explain more, but maybe we can also ask others to discuss their own. And we are also supporting a response to Typhoon Yolanda. I was being also in Tacloban, Rojas. We saw a lot of devastations like tsunami in Japan as well. I saw a tsunami impact in Japan as well. So how we can really rebuild, the cities and towns and then villages with also people's engagement. I do see the need for local government and particularly people and also barangay level, disaster risk reduction measures need to be taken more seriously. We are awakened by the magnitude of disaster we are seeing. So we need to be prepared, not meeting minimum standard. We have to be prepared for the maximum level of projection we are seeing, which is increasing day by day, year by year. We have not been still aware and then prepared enough for the category 4 or 5 typhoons and storm surge, but not known to the people how it will affect people's life. So those aspects need to be really taken into account, and the scenario building should change for the preparations. And we are here to also support that effort of the country and the local government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanaka. Mr. Meller, what are the more concrete actions that your organization or that your company has taken in helping our LGUs be more prepared when it comes to disasters here that are happening in the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. Magandang hapon. Salamat po sa lahat for giving me the opportunity here to present a little bit what GIZ has been doing. And first of all, I would also express my deepest sympathy for the Philippine people facing such disasters as Yolanda. But I think as everybody saw Manny Pacquiao on Sunday, there's a true fighter in every Filipino, so we have to be prepared, but I know that the Philippine people are also very strong. And, but nevertheless, we are working very closely with the Climate Change Commission in our project, also on the local level with the LGUs. One of our main focus is the HLURB, the Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, and support them in developing the guidelines for local planning to really capture and take into consideration adaptation, mitigation, and climate proofing, which is very important. And to make the Philippines also on the local level very resilient. I think we saw during the course of the day very interesting and admiring activities, and we as GIZ we're trying to support here. One other aspect we're also focusing in our project is the renewable energy implementation of the Renewable Energy Act. And we're actually working more on a national level in that sense, also supporting the Department of Energy. But in the Ecotown approach of the Climate Change Commission, we are supporting Concrete San Vicente to look into the potential of renewable energies to come into the grid and subsidize a little bit of the diesel generation, and in the long run make the renewable energy supply more sustainable and affordable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meller. Mr. Kim, the Global Green Institute, what are your organization's current initiatives for the Philippines?
Magandang hapon po. Ako po si Hyoel Kim from Global Green Growth Institute. The GGGI is a baby international organization. We just started last year, and also we have some partnership with the Climate Change Commission from the last year. We are supporting the CCC to help the local government units, such as the San Vicente in Palawan and the 4 municipalities in Siargao Island, to help them making up the demonstration, the Ecotown framework. And also, this project begins the last year and will be finished hopefully the end of the next month. And also we are doing some scoping, the preparation work with the CCC for the 4 provinces. We call that the climate resilient green growth. The purpose of that, the scoping work is some sort of trial to reformation of the economic and social structure against any climate change risk, because we call that climate resilient. We pursue the climate risk resilient economic structure, making that kind of scheme for those 4 provinces, Rombolon, Laguna, Oriental Mindoro, and Bohol.
Okay. So with these provinces mentioned, we as the forum goes, we have our local LGUs helping and supporting and wanting to learn and possibly wanting to partner with you, with your organizations to help the local government units and their constituents as well. How will the local government units partner with each of your organizations? Mr. Tanaka?
Local government is very close partner of our activities. Particularly, they have been affected by typhoons. After that, their awareness level is very high. What they want to know, first of all, is where is the no-build zone, for example. There are a lot of floods created by typhoons and rainfall. So, for example, Compostela Valley, New Bataan City Mayor wanted to have a hazard mapping information, and then is it possible to mitigate or they have to relocate? And those decisions are very important decisions to take because land acquisitions is very important for relocation locations, and also people have to be in the temporary relocation site waiting for the permanent shelters to come out. So those are always cycle of response when any disaster happens, and local government are there actually carrying the burden with national government support, but also it takes time. Response, we are talking about 3 months, 6 months, but in reality, whole recovery and reconstruction take more 3 to 5 years cycle. Particularly people's livelihood, source of income, where they are relocated. From there, how you can go to the fishery point or your agricultural land. There are a lot of concerns around. So always a local government is aware, and also demand is very high from the people side. So we are always working very closely with the local government, how we can help them to plan better and also make the recovery plan as resilient as possible. And climate change adaptations as possible, because the rainfall pattern change, dry season become drier, and then wet season become more with rains. So also it has an impact on agriculture, impact on how you plan the group comprehensive land use plan. So those are the things we all discuss together, and then making sure that people are aware of such things happening. So I do see importance of communicating people and engaging people in the decision-making process.
Thank you, Mr. Tanaka. Mr. Meller, for your company, how can, like Mr. Tanaka said, how can the LGUs partner with you, and how can you plan better together in order to avoid disasters happening in this magnitude?
Yeah, I think one major entry point in our project with the Climate Change Commission is our initiative to the local implementation of the NCCAP, the Climate Change Action Plan. And here we are advising local communities, local municipalities on how to integrate adaptation measures, mitigation measures, but also climate proofing in the land use planning. Our key municipalities here are also the eco-towns of the Climate Change Commission, like Chagao mentioned before. But also we are very active in summer, Eastern summer in particular, and also later. And with regard to the disaster there, GIZ will also engage in the reconstruction facility, not for the reconstruction efforts. The German government has already indicated that they will support there even more funds, but it's not yet official, but I think I can announce it here. But yeah, this is our entry point. So really to go into the planning of land use. From ridge to reef, we support this approach that in every ecosystem available in the local communities, we would really like to see that a responsive answer is created in the planning process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meller. Mr. Kim, about the efforts of your company to help our LGUs here in the country.
The GGGI, our organization, has some our quite unique objective. We helping the natural level government and local level government to enabling them to prepare their own the plan for the climate change or adaptation or mitigation and green growth. In case of the EcoTown project, we try to enable the local government unit to prepare their own CDP and CLUP. I think the CDP and CLUP just consist of the many the project, but most of the cases the people only think about the one project, achieve the one adaptation measure. It's not some one-to-one match to the one project. Some cases to achieve the one adaptation measure may need the several project, list of projects. But we helping the LGUs to prepare that kind of incorporation and make the CLUP and CDP more comprehensive. And up to now, we are some quite the baby international organization. We are currently only working with the CCC, and some mayors and some governors visit our booth over there, and there's already some show their interest to work with us. And I think that we have our own agenda to some work with some the LGUs, and also the CCs have their own the criteria to work with the LGUs. I think it will be quite the simple if those local government and the province has some the climate change related some the issue or risk or some expecting any damages, or in perspective our objective is they want to have some change of their some economic scheme, or they want to some transformation of their social scheme. I think that if they have that kind of some motivation, it's quite easy to have some partnership with us.
And speaking of partnership, we have a video question from Mayor Balbin of New Bataan, Compostela Valley. As we know, Compostela Valley, Mayor Bataan's territory was hit by Typhoon Pablo in 2010, and he has a question for all three gentlemen. Let's all watch this.
Balbin Jr. of the municipality of New Bataan. I would like to ask a question regarding the financing with regards to the mitigation of our municipality, because New Bataan was struck by Typhoon Pablo last December 4, and we need assistance aside from national government, local government. We need assistance from international. Actually, there are some humanitarian partners who extended to us assistance. Aside from that, I don't know where to ask assistance, funding institution with regards to the mitigation of our areas.
Okay, that question was from Mayor Balbin. I was talking to Mr. Tanaka, and he said, "Is that Mayor Balbin?" I said, "Yes." And you've worked with him, Mr. Tanaka. His question is, how can you help Bataan in terms of financing also as well in preventing something like Typhoon Pablo that happened in 2010 from happening again? How do sort of a rehabilitation for their area, for their province?
It has been a very difficult question. I've been there right after Pablo, and then New Bataan was really severely affected. All the debris, wood, fallen trees, and coconuts are all over the town, and even the evacuation center was kind of, flushed away. Many people died, particularly in the village, because the river flow changed totally, and it went into the center of the town too. So it created big disasters. So, of course, the government is very much aware, concerned on the hazard mapping change. So the New Bataan itself is under very vulnerable flood-prone areas. So the recommendation has been basically there is a need to relocate the town. Of course, the people are keen to stay attachment of their sentiment also there. So the question is, can we mitigate the potential disaster so that town can stay there? But still, maybe mitigation measure could be more costly than relocation sometimes, because mitigation against nature is going to be a very difficult challenge. Early warning system need to be very, very established so that nobody will die in any event, extreme event. But I think the financial aspect, of course, you have to look at the options, and then any option has its cost. But you can't just cost as the physical construction cost. It has implication of the people life cost. You cannot, it's an invariable cost. At the same time, long-term cost. If you invest now and create a location where you can, sustain and then safer for a longer time, also may have a far more value. So we need to think about, future long-term investment benefit out of those. So I think as the difficult position he's having, we hope to show those options and costs and then future benefit so that the right options can be taken. Also with the participation of the people themselves, where if they are relocated, where to choose. And all those funding, I think just Pablo Recovery Fund are released. We have been engaged in the recovery also planning process with the Arturo Wilson, the governor over the Compostela Valley, also Corazon Marañón in the Davao Oriental. So I think it's a more overall, collective effort of the people. It's not only issue of New Bataan, but issue of anyone who live in Philippines. We are third most vulnerable country against climate change and disaster risk reduction. So I do think it's not only issue for New Bataan, but it is also we have to consider that seriously. We are here to also support the building blocks and to build the resilience, and then see what options are best for future and particularly for our generation to come, new generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tanaka. Mr. Meller, same question. How can you help the new Bataan, the Compostela Valley, in financing and educating their LGUs when it comes to disaster management?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think finance is a very crucial aspect. And here I think it's two possible avenues. Yeah, one is that of course the Philippines are also setting up the Philippine Survivors Fund, like own national mechanism to facilitate funding. Here GIZ is active in the advice of operationalization of these funds. Same applies also with the Renewable Energy Trust Fund that is foreseen in the Renewable Energy Act, also a national instrument to support RE, renewable energy development. And on the other hand, if you take the LGU part into consideration, they of course have to be prepared, and capacity development needs to take place, how they in their local strategies really point out why they need the financing and how they can really apply for those national funds that would be then available. So I think the strategy is twofold in creating these national instruments, but also then enable the LGUs to access these funds with solid proposals, with long-term strategies. I support here the point of my colleague that you really have to think of strategically what investment into green and sustainable infrastructure are needed, and the cost may seem high in the first place, but in the long run will reduce the overall impact.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meller. Mr. Kim, how do we educate the LGUs, just as the question of Mayor Balbin, how do we educate the LGUs in that area in order to protect and have a safer New Bataan, Compostela Valley in times of crisis, in times of a disaster?
I think that's very technical question to me, because the ZZGI is quite focused on the growth perspective, the green growth perspective, and not the climate change itself. But usually we help the LGU and the national government we provide the capacity building to make them know about more growth part. We mostly empathize the climate change or environment and the sustainable growth, but the ultimate purpose of most of our action is the growth through the greener way. And many LGU peoples frequently ask to us, you guys prepared some plan or strategy, then what should they do? That means the financing issues, and also the LGU people, LGU officials should understand there is many ways and many methods to make the funds for their real tangible implementation project. Because of our the GGGI the constraints, we cannot provide any some construction or real tangible implementation work. We only make the problem, and we are the issue maker. Oh, you should do this one, and you should do this one. You need this project thing, or you should think about this kind of thing. But yeah, we are the door opener. We open the door and invite the LG official to the climate resilient something, but also we facilitate some donor agencies such as the OSAID, the USAID, and COICA, and any other some ODA donor agencies. For example, in the San Vicente case, we are helping the San Vicente LG officials to prepare some proposal for their own waste management system, building up their own management, and that will be submitted to this COICA for the 2015-16 project. We can do that kind of the facilitating work to help the LG officials, and there would be many ways to get the finance things, and also the GGGI is also to pursue the PPP scheme, the public-private partnership. If any the project financing and any the project will be very helpful to the local people and also the private area, and we will do that, make that kind of scheme. There is a various way to build up the financing scheme. Also, it's my personal feelings. When we visit many local sites for the development of growth, many people mention about the tourism types of industry. They are more focusing on tourists, but I believe to create more job and to create more balance of the profit share, I think the people should think about what kind of industry or sector make that kind of opportunity. I think one example of that kind of sector is the manufacturing area. If we think about making up some 100 billion peso, in the finance institution or service institution, they need only 1,000 people as an employee. But in the manufacturing area, to make that kind of some money, they may need 10,000 people. It's just the balancing of some share of the opportunity of to make some money. If the LGU people think about those kind of some changes and the financing, the fund mobilization, and the transformation of the economic scheme, I think that could be a more helpful to their growth, and also if those sectors and areas that consider the climate the resilient part, I think that could be the good opportunity to the LGUs, I think.
So thank you very much, Mr. Kim. We won't let you go yet, gentlemen. I'd like to ask the crowd, since we're learning how our partners are helping our LGUs. I'd like to ask the crowd, maybe someone can step up and use the microphone. What could be the possible challenges for you that you've learned today, or any thoughts in mind that while listening to our gentlemen and listening to the entire forum today, what could be the challenges and what could be a possible solution for you listening to what these gentlemen have said today and all our other speakers? So we'd like to encourage kung sinong pwedeng pumunta sa microphone at mag-share ng kanyang learnings for today o kanyang mga thoughts sa mga pinag-usapan natin. Meron po ba? Or ina-absorb nyo pa lahat? Isinulat nyo lahat? Meron po ba? Kahit isa. Oo. Sabi ng aking floor, Region 4 daw. Baka may question daw ang Region 4. Or we can do it by table. Table. Diba? Kung meron kayong mga katanungan, this is your chance na maitanong sa ating mga speakers para mas maliwanagan tayo on how they're helping our LGUs. Alam ko, there are a lot of challenges that the LGUs may encounter in accessing support from your organizations or your companies. So we'd like to know kung may mga tanong. Oh. Okay, meron. Okay, maraming salamat. We have a... Okay. Parang papunta doon yung mic. Meron po ba doon? Kasi kung wala, I mentioned challenges that the LGUs may encounter when accessing support from the different companies, the different organizations that our gentlemen head at the moment. Oh, we have a question. Sir, thank you. There. Ayan, so we have a question from the gentleman in red stripe, tapos from our gentleman in the dark-colored shirt. Shortly after po, our first question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sir, please go ahead with your question.
I'm Architect Gil Balondo. I'm the head of the City Planning Office of Iligan City. Incidentally, the beneficiary of the Twin Phoenix project. And after Sindong, there's a proposal to construct a river control along Mandalog River, but incidentally, Mandalog River is not part of the 18 major rivers, so hindi siya priority. So my question is, any of the three can help us finance the preparation of the river control master plan? That's one. The second one is we have this ongoing Iligan Bukidnon road, and this road passes this road will pass the timberland or the forest land, and of course this will connect the Bukidnon area. And since this will pass in the forest land, and we want to control the development of this area, then we propose a master plan on agribusiness and ecotourism. So therefore, we still need the funds to finance on these two aspects. One is the master plan of the Iligan, Bukidnon, agribusiness and ecotourism growth corridor. And the second one is the preparation of the Mandalog River Control Master Plan. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We had another question. Magandang hapon.
Mayadang hapon. I am Phil Teo Palmares III, the first cousin of Mayor Jesrey Palmares and the Senior Executive Assistant of Pasig City. And first of all, I'd like to express our appreciation for the Climate Change Commission and all of you for inviting us here today. It is a very, very fruitful, session. And we are here together with the mayor, the wife of the mayor, our city planning officer, just to express also our appreciation to you. But what I'd like to ask is that how can we collaborate together to help rebuild the economy of Pasig City? Because we were badly hit by Typhoon Yolanda. And there is not so much information or publicity with regards to the damage in our area and part of Panay Island that is in Capiz and northern Iloilo. But Pasig City, if you like to have this, this is not a very nice report, by the way. A glimpse of damages encountered prepared by the Pasig City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. We have 17 deaths, mortality, and more or less more than 200 million damages based on initial reports, excluding that of other private sectors, establishments who were destroyed by the typhoon. So we have done our share, our best effort for immediate assistance to our constituents. But what we intend to do is a medium-term and a long-term intervention strategy. And we're looking for partners, and we're inviting all of you there, if you agree, so that we can help rebuild the economy of Pasig City. For your information, just a slight information, our sugarcane plantation, most of these are damages, 80%. Not only the sugarcane plantation, but the rice plantations. Totally the pineapple plantations, which is 800 to 1,000 hectares, were totally damaged. We have the sweetest pineapple in the whole of the country, in the Philippines, but all of these were damaged by Typhoon Yolanda. So what kind of intervention strategy we want to make? It should be a collaboration between your organization and the local government of Pasig City. So first, I'd like to know whether you are willing to be our partners in trying to rebuild our local economy. We don't want to have a dependency attitude, but of course, it will be a joint undertaking between UNDP, the GIZ, and also WICA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you po. Okay, well, we'd like to thank yung mga nagtanong, and to our audience, maraming salamat for I know you had brewing questions in your mind, and they were voiced out by two of those who asked, so maraming salamat. Also to our gentlemen, any last message to all of us here on how we can recover, plan ahead, plan long-term, and how that door can be open to all the LGUs seeking assistance and support from each of your companies. Let's start with Mr. Kim.
For the first question, the GGI is more, these days we are more focusing on not in the Philippines, the worldwide leader. We are more focusing on the river basin area. But during our Ecotown project in Philippines, we visited the mangrove area, and it's also very important for the marine and coastal sector. And I think we can make the opportunity to think about not only the river basin, also the mangroves, not only the Philippines. I think that the mangrove issues not only the Philippines issue. The most of the Southeast Asia and the tropical areas issue will be. And I think that it will be the good opportunity to start to think about the preservation of the mangrove area, and how do we protect, and also how do we make escalate the resource of the mangrove area. I think that to start to think about that kind of thing will be a very good opportunity for every one of us, I think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hyul Kim of the Global Green Growth Institute.
Thank you.
Now a message from Mr. Hendrik Miller of GIZ.
Yes, salamat po again. Maybe one last thought. I like this intervention strategy. Of course, I think it has to go through all the city planners, the local municipalities, the LGUs, to really have this understanding about the need for climate proofing, for adaptation, for mitigation. There are a lot of plans also on the national level with the NC Cup in place. But of course, this has to go through from the national level to the local level. I think there we can facilitate this exchange. And then also as a thought, I think most crucial is education and awareness raising. So there have to be a lot of efforts in disaster risk reduction to make people aware, maybe by little measurements, what impact they can achieve. And also this holds true for renewable energies. This is a technology coming in that many people think it's still too expensive, that will increase the price.